Hey, everybody. Welcome to NBA Today. I am Uncle Freezy, and I'm starting a new NBA channel. And I appreciate the fact that you came along, that you clicked on this video to come rock with us. I am going to be talking about the NBA, some college basketball, um, scouting, the draft, a lot of that stuff, right? So this is a brand new thing for me. I appreciate the fact that you clicked on this and are watching. And if you like channels like this one, consider subscribing, hitting the like video or hitting the like button for this video. So I didn't just start the video just for that. I did want to do an introduction though, right? I feel like it's necessary. But but here's the thing I want to get into a certain thing. The reason why I'm here is because the NBA this season has been kind of peculiar, right? And as I was sitting prepping for this video, I was thinking, man, can a 35-year-old Kevin Durant win the league MVP? Can a 35-year-old Kevin Durant keep up this pace and make another run at an MVP trophy? We honestly, I thought the Kevin Durant MVP conversation scenario was in the past, right? I think we all have. I think we all feel like even though Kevin Durant is a great player, we feel as if those years maybe behind him a little bit, possibly, possibly behind him. But as I sit here today, I'm looking at this man's numbers through I think it's through 13 games. The Suns have won 3 games in a row. Tonight they just beat Utah in double overtime. And I'm gonna put the numbers up. I want you to see these numbers, man. Kevin Durant in double overtime put up these type numbers. I'm gonna put them on the screen here. Be patient with me, y'all, as I do this. So Kevin Durant was 14 of 27 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, had 8 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 7 turnovers. That's very concerning. But it's an double overtime game. That man had 39 points. His running mate, Devin Booker, was 8 for 21, 2 of 7, and 5 rebounds, 8 assists. He had 26 points. But I didn't want to start the conversation and just mainly talk about Devin Booker. I want to talk about Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant continues to play at this level, should he be considered for the MVP? Let's see. Let's take a small dive into what Kevin Durant's numbers look like on the season. And I'm not going to go to career stats. I want to go to game log, right? So I'm going to go to game log really quickly for Kevin Durant, right? So Kevin Durant tonight had scored 39 points, right? Friday night, he scored 38 points against Minnesota in a win against a very good Minnesota team. And I'm going to get to Minnesota in this video because scoring 31 against Minnesota is not scoring 31 against Minnesota in years past, right? He had 31 against he had 28 against OKC in a loss. He had 38 against the Lakers about a week ago in a loss. And 25, 41 against the Pistons, which is the Pistons, but they have pretty good defenders, but he still scored 41. Is Kevin Durant on the verge of a career renaissance? I don't know. All I know is this season through a handful of games, Kevin Durant looks like he might be back. We don't know how long this is going to last. We don't know. I'm not going to say that Kevin Durant is going to finish the next 2 or 3 seasons just like this, but what I am going to ask you guys is Kevin Durant back, even if it's for a small time, for a short time? It's interesting to me, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. If Kevin Durant can play like this, and once they incorporate Bradley Beal, I think it's gonna be something. I think that the Suns are gonna be something. We don't know how good they'll be. Of course, we don't know how long this stretch is going to last. We don't know what Bradley Beal's impact is going to be, how he plays with Devin Booker. How is Eric Gordon gonna fit in as the 4th or 5th guy? We don't know. We don't know. What does that mean for Grayson Allen when Bradley Beal returns? What we do know, or what we have a sense about though, is that the Phoenix Suns are deep. The Phoenix Suns are deep, and they may be a problem. And it may be because of Kevin Durant. Didn't think when I started this channel that the first person I would speak about would be Kevin Durant, but it just shows you how much parity there is in the NBA. Right? There's so much parity in the NBA that our conversations change from night to night based on what we see. And quite honestly, the more information you have in a conversation, to me, the better. We like to have informed conversation, smart conversations. That's the reason why I'm doing this channel, not just because I don't want to do a fan channel where everybody is emotional and super pumped up for their team, but adding facts to the conversation is the reason why I'm starting this channel. And I hope you enjoy conversations like that, because that's where we're going. I feel like that's what we need out here. But let me move on really quickly though to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the reason why I want to discuss the Timberwolves is not because I think they're a cute story, right? That's not it. The reason why I want to point out the Minnesota Timberwolves is because I felt like what they were doing would never work with Rudy Gobert. I felt like when the Rudy Gobert trade went down last year, I felt like it would never work. But now you look at their defense, the emergence of McDaniels, the development of Anthony Edwards, the evolution of Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, and now you're looking at a top 2 NBA defense, top 3 NBA defense. I think it's the Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves with the top 1 or 2 or 3 defense somewhere. There may be another team, who knows? On a night-to-night basis, things change, things fluctuate, but at the same time, Minnesota looks like they are legit. Let me tell y'all something. Minnesota is 5-0 at home. They're 7-1 in the Western Conference. They're 2-0 in their division, but the most impressive thing is the opponent's points per game. 106.8 in an NBA where teams are out here scoring about 115 a night. That's impressive. And as I listen to others like the Zach Lowe podcast, the Low Post podcast, and others around that are insiders, I hear this bubbling that Anthony Edwards may be Kobe like. And that's amazing because Kobe Bryant is in the GOAT conversation. Now, mind you, when we say Anthony Edwards is entering the Kobe conversation, we're not saying a fully developed, experienced Kobe Bryant. We're talking about a Kobe Bryant at the same age as Anthony Edwards is right now. And what does that mean? That means there's another level of that Anthony Edwards can get to that most NBA players can't get to. And if he gets to that level, along with Jalen McDaniels, and I understand his brother is in the league too, Jalen and Jaden. I know sometimes we get them confused, and we shouldn't, out of respect for who they are. But yeah, I know what it is. I think the Timberwolves are for real. And as much as a lot of people dislike Karl Anthony Towns in a playoff series one-on-one against an average power forward or center is something most teams don't want to see. Most teams don't want to see Karl Anthony Towns in an offensive matchup against an average or even above average or maybe even star power forward. You don't want to see that. Karl Anthony Towns, remember, was the number one pick for a reason. He's talented. Have his numbers always led to winning? No, of course not. We know Karl Anthony Towns' story. We know his story. His numbers don't equate to winning. That's the reason why they have Anthony Edwards. But now the addition of McDaniels, the addition of Gobert, the addition of Edwards, mixed in with savvy play from Mike Conley and others, might be the perfect mix of youth and experience that gets the Timberwolves into the playoffs and may be the fuel for a deep playoff run. It may. As I sit here, well, tonight, as I look at the standings, the Denver Nuggets have lost 2 in a row. They're in third place. The Sacramento Kings are red hot right now. The Oklahoma City Thunder are red hot right now. And quite frankly, Oklahoma City may be a team to watch. I'm not sure how they're doing it. Their defense is good, not great. Their offense is good, not great. I know SGA is very, very good. But how is Oklahoma City how can Oklahoma City maintain what they're doing over a 82 game schedule? Is SGA good enough to keep this team in playoff contention? I'm not for sure. I don't know what they need to add. Oklahoma is the case where a team is so deep, you don't know where their holes are. And they have very good young players. And they brought in some veterans. But how good can this team be? Is this a 50-win team? Looks like it. Is this a 53-win team? Looks like it. Can OKC maybe even win 54, 55 wins? You don't know. At the beginning of the season, I thought they were a 52 to 48 win team, but right now they look like a team that could win 53 games. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. Sacramento was red hot right now, but we knew in time Sacramento would really be a contender. They made a good showing for themselves last year. As I swing to the Eastern Conference, just to talk a little bit about the Eastern Conference. Boston is who we thought they were going to be. Their defense is elite. Boston's defense is elite, and I think this Boston team may win 55 games, 53, 55 games, somewhere there. They're undefeated at home, and they are 7-1 in their division. They're 10-1 in the Eastern Conference. Jason Tatum looks impressive. I watched him I watched him just destroy my Knicks twice this season. Jason Tatum looks like a guy that could be in the MVP conversation. And all of a sudden, the Philadelphia 76ers are hot. I don't know what to make of the Milwaukee Bucks because they don't win impressively, but they win. I don't know what to make of the Miami Heat. They were hot for a stretch, but I don't know what to make of them now. There's a group in the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference. The Magic, the Knicks, and Pacers. I feel like that's going to be a group that's going to kind of be in that same area all season long. It seems that way. After about 12 or 13 games, it looks as if Orlando, Indiana, and the Knicks are going to be those middle of the pack teams unless all three teams figure out something. We don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is, but I do feel like those teams are going to knock off some good teams and maybe potentially lose to some teams that'll make you scratch your head unless a major deal is made, unless some team from out of nowhere trades for Zach Lavine. And I'm going to bring up the Zach Lavine thing just really briefly because I feel like the Zach Lavine thing deserves a conversation, a video of its own. Right now, the Bulls are 5-9, and they don't look like a team that's going anywhere. So they may have to trade Zach Lavine, and they may have to do it in the Eastern Conference. If you're an Eastern Conference team, though, what do you give up for Zach Lavine? Right? And if you're a Western Conference team, do you need Zach Lavine? In my opinion, no. If you're a Western Conference team, say you're a Minnesota, do you need Zach Lavine? No. Denver Nuggets? No. Sacramento Kings? No. Dallas Mavericks? No. Houston Rockets? No. Lakers? No. Suns? No. Pelicans? No. Golden State? No. Clippers? Of course not. Portland? No. In my mind, the only conference that has teams that can trade for Zach Lavine and have it be impactful is the Eastern Conference. And here it's so I have two or three teams that I'm going to mention that could be positively impacted by a Zach Lavine trade. Philadelphia, Orlando, and New York. If you're Orlando, do you put together a package centered around Jalen Suggs and draft picks for Zach Lavine? Of course you do. It makes too much sense, right? Of course you do. It makes too much sense. You have to. Jalen Suggs is a third year guard where the athleticism is there, the talent is there, but are the skills there? And if you're Orlando, do you wait for Jalen Suggs to develop, or do you trade draft picks, Jet Howard, Suggs, and Fultz for Zach Lavine? If you're Philadelphia, do you trade stuff for Zach Lavine right now in order to take advantage of this Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid runaway freight train? Of course you do. Of course you do, because Boston is not going to let their foot off the gas. And Brooklyn and the Knicks, while they may not pose an immediate threat, they're going to be tough outs for you every night. Do you want to let Toronto get a Zach Lavine, and then now it powers them up also, where they may not be able to win the division, but they will be a tough out when you play them during the regular season and pose a threat in the playoffs? It's something to think about if you're Philadelphia. It's something to think about if you're Philadelphia. If you are the New York Knicks, do you trade for Zach Lavine? Absolutely not. Zach Lavine already said he doesn't want to play for the Knicks. But would Zach Lavine be a fit for the Knicks? Absolutely. Zach Lavine would be that tertiary playmaker that plays off of Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett. Now you put Zach Lavine on a team where he doesn't have to be the guy, but he can be impactful offensively. But Zach Lavine doesn't want to play for the Knicks. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So that's it. That's the inaugural video. Thank y'all for watching, man. I appreciate y'all. Peace, everybody.